David and Victoria Beckham have become a cultural phenomenon on a scale never seen before. Their every move is scrutinised by the media and fed to a demanding public obsessed by their lifestyle. Whether worshipped or vilified, idolised or demonised, the Beckhams have taken over the world. But just who are Posh and Becks?
They're famous, they have money, they have an abundance of happiness, and they're the best-known couple in the world.
They seem to be proof that we could do it right, we could get it right, and that you could have it all.
They mix up all those things that the British people are really interested in, you know, football, pop music and fashion.
They have become almost too famous for their own good, but I think that's what they want.
They are one entity, aren't they? They are the Beckhams, with no Christian names.
Despite their huge personal wealth, it's their image as a couple that's worth the real money. With his highly publicised move to Real Madrid, David has become the world's best-known sportsman, but Victoria's career has taken a nosedive. Since moving to Real Madrid, the Beckhams have changed management. Former Spice Girls boss Simon Fuller is now in charge of the Beckham brand and has promised to make them billionaires. But David's image has now far eclipsed Victoria's.
Victoria Beckham is famous for being famous at the moment. She's famous for being David's wife.
Perhaps she just can't stand that, but she wants to be her own self again.
I do think that Victoria, like many pretty girls, is one of Mother Nature's plus ones. She hitched a ride to fame on the back of the Spice Girls, in which she was the one that no one could really work out why she was there. And then she went even further into fame by hitching a ride on the back of the most talented sportsman of his age.
But you need to learn to bounce the ball rather than kick it if you're going to come over here, don't you?
One of the things that Beckham has acquired that I don't think probably any celebrity has in quite the same way is this near religious devotion. He is actually worshipped.
David Beckham just seems to be God to little kids, girls and boys alike.
As a football role model, David Beckham has broken the mould. Although it seems like they've been around forever, it was just 7 years ago that Posh and Becks first hit our headlines. Back in the old days, only a few footballers strayed onto the front pages, but for all the wrong reasons. And the only posh girl we cared about was married to Prince Charles.
The celebrity couples who were dominating the headlines during the 1990s were obviously Charles and Diana, and also on the showbiz front, Liz Hurley and Hugh Grant.
Well, in the mid-90s, footballers started to appear on the front pages again. Gazza's trials and tribulations. Footballers had kind of become bad boys and rogues again.
We used to write about them in the papers. They were boozed up, drunken yobs. You'd have fights with photographers outside nightclubs. David was such a contrast to that.
Beckham today is the epitome of a clean-living sports star, but back in 1996, this ungroomed youngster had just become a Manchester United regular and seemed to care about nothing more than playing for the team he loved.
Look back at old pictures of David Beckham and he's got a rather bad, mousy haircut, wearing pretty crappy clothes from BHS, driving a Ford Escort.
And at the same time, his future wife was also young, ambitious and without a stylist.
All my friends are interested and keep saying when we're going to see you on Top of the Pops.
Victoria was living with a group of wannabe pop stars whose only interest in football was teenage pin-up Ryan Giggs.
Now, I've usually got a big Ryan Giggs picture, but it's disappeared. They banned it because they don't like it.
The Spice Girls were nothing more than a bunch of young hopefuls aiming to fill what they saw as a gap in the pop market.
In my eyes, there isn't really a good, well-established girl group at the moment who have got like a credible pop but funky sort of image.
Before the Spice Girls came along, tabloid-wise, Take That were obviously of considerable interest.
I guess now it's time.
Britpop was very popular at that time. Bands like Oasis and Blur were front-page news, but they weren't as tabloid-friendly as bands like Take That, and I think that we were just waiting for something like the Spice Girls to come along.
We were kind of sexually blind in thinking that to appeal to little girls you had to have little boys. Everyone at that time was expecting another boy band.